Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do another play or nay, and today we are going to be looking at a game called Grim Dawn. Now, firstly a few disclaimers. This game is currently in early access. It has been in early access for over 2 years already. So the development process on this game is a little bit slow, but the final release of the game I think should be expected relatively soon. I don't think in 2015 yet, probably only in 2016. But yes, just take note that anything that I might criticize in this game or that I might complain about, like the graphics or a quest that it's broken or anything like that, all of that is subject to change, and the game is still in development, so the things that I might complain about in this video will probably be fixed upon final release. And the second disclaimer is that the developers of the game have provided me with the review code for this game, so thank you very much to the developers. So about a year ago, I would say September 2014, I played this game. I just basically did like a first impressions on the game, where I played a few minutes, like 40-50 minutes of the game. And yeah, it was really fun. Back then, as far as I can remember, they only had one chapter of content created. And now, 1 year later, in this version of the game, they now have, I think, 3 or 4. I'm almost certain it's 3 chapters released. As far as I know, they want to release the game with 5 chapters, so you could say that they only need 2 chapters more of content. But even though there are only 3 chapters in the game already, this game has a crapload of content and playability already. I can show you that I have already spent a shitload of time playing this game. If my mouse just wants to work with me, come on. Okay, there we go. 2 days and 5 hours and 54 minutes I have already played this game. So even though this is a early access title, you can get over 2 days of playtime out of this game already, and I'm not even close to finished with all of the content yet. You can see here at the side I still have a shitload of quests that I have to go through. So even though this is an early access title, you can be absolutely assured that you will get your money's worth already if you buy this game, and the game isn't even fully developed yet. So I mean, that is amazing. With what other early access game can you get guaranteed 48 hours of gameplay already? I mean, that's absolutely crazy. That just gives you an idea of how huge this fucking game is. I will go through the map in just a little while. So I have said in the past that I think I will just actually go into the gameplay a little bit, but just try to concentrate on what I am saying. So I have said in the past, in a few of my past videos, I have said that in my opinion Titan Quest is the best game ever created. That is just my opinion, because I have played a massive amount of that game of Titan Quest. I've played, I would easily say, a week that I have spent in game time on that game. That is just how fun that game was to me. Me and my friends played the crap out of Titan Quest. And I bring up Titan Quest because the developers, or at least most of the developers that did work on Titan Quest, have also joined the team, or they form part of the team that is working on Grim Dawn. And the similarities between the two games are indeed very noticeable. The graphics are very similar to Titan Quest. The playstyle is very similar to Titan Quest. Even the way that you do your skills, the way that the character design is done, like even the descriptions on the items and all of that, is extremely similar to how Titan Quest was done. If you have played Titan Quest, then you will already notice that all of the item design is relatively the same. The interface here is just about the same. Physique, cunning and spirit, that's the same as Titan Quest. The resistances is the same as Titan Quest. All of the skills that you can get, or at least the skill layout, is the same as Titan Quest. You can choose currently, I think there's 6 or 7 specializations, like shaman and occultist and stuff like that. You get a soldier, you get a kind of a mage specialization, but the point being that you can choose 2 specializations, and those 2 specializations in some or another way have some synergy. So for instance, with my current build that I have, I summon 2 pets. Here I summon a familiar, and here I summon a hellhound. And that is how far I've gotten in this specialization. But then with the other specialization, I also summon a briar thorn. So I basically summon 3 pets. And then with the specialization, I have a shitload of auras. So I have an aura that increases the health of me and my creatures. And then I have an aura which increases the damage absorption of me and my creatures. And it also increases the total damage and health of all of my creatures. So I basically have 2 auras which also get applied to all of my creatures. And then I have a third aura which is actually granted by this item. It actually is Ancestor's Bond, and you can see there at the bottom, bonus to all pets. My pets get 100% elemental damage, 25% physical damage, 50% crit damage, stuff like that. So basically I have a shitload of pets and I have a shitload of auras, and by doing that kind of a specialization, me and my pets gain or benefits from the auras. Now, this isn't the only spec that you can do with the shaman and occultist, because the occultist actually have a shitload of plague auras, and basically they damage a whole group of enemies using plagues and stuff like that. And they also have a lightning doom bolt kind of a thing. And the shaman also has totems that it can place on the ground in order to shock your enemies. So you can definitely go a different way with these 2 specializations. And it is the same with all of the other specializations also. If I wasn't the occultist shaman specialization, then I certainly could have picked one of the other specializations, and I could also have gone the route of just having a shitload of pets. So it's not necessarily just these 2 kinds of specializations that are the pet centralized kind of a build, I could say. So that basically gives you an idea of the similarities between Titan Quest and this game. And yes, like I've said, the guys that worked on Titan Quest also have worked on this game, and that is fucking awesome, because I've said many times in my previous videos, Titan Quest is, in my opinion, the best game ever created, simply because I measure games by the amount of enjoyment that I have gotten out of the game. And I have gotten a shitload of entertainment out of Titan Quest when I was younger. Even today I would still play Titan Quest, since the community have really added a shitload of mods and almost, you could say, DLC content to Titan Quest. So even though Titan Quest is, I think it was released in 2006, although I'm not too sure. So it's pretty close to being a 5-year-old game. You could 10-year-old game, excuse me. It's pretty much close to being a 10-year-old game. But you could still get a shitload of fun out of that game. I mean, what other 10-year-old game can give you the same amount of fun and pleasure out of it than what you got when it was released? I mean, sure, stuff like Diablo 2 and all of those games you could still play today, although arguably you won't get the same amount of experience, same amount of fun out of it as what you did when the game was released, because the standards of gaming simply are much higher than what Diablo 2 was back then. But Titan Quest is basically the same as this game right here, and I'm still enjoying the shit out of this game. So you could say that Titan Quest is even more viable than other ARPGs that are available on the market today. And unfortunately there are not a whole lot of ARPGs on the market. I really wish that some of the great game developers, like perhaps Blizzard or a bunch of other names also, would get into the ARPG market once again, because of course Blizzard have released Diablo 3, but they really haven't gone towards the single player experience. Holy shit, that guy is big, and he is a nemesis. I will explain a little bit about the nemesis system in just a little while, once I actually kill this bastard. But basically Diablo 3 isn't nearly the same experience as what Diablo 2 was. Obviously Diablo 2 was much more, oh shit, I don't want to die. Diablo 2 was much more centralized around single player, and unfortunately Diablo 3 is much more centralized around multiplayer. So you don't really get the same experience with Diablo 3 than what you got with Diablo 2. And that is pretty sad, because I absolutely loved Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is easily in my top 5 best games ever, even though it is such an old game. I mean, Diablo 2 was released when I was still a young boy, easily I would say 15 years ago. So it really, holy shit, it really is sad that you don't get such amazing quality ARPG games, or actually also hack and slash games, I guess some people would call it, but I call it ARPG games. You don't really get the same quality of ARPG games today than what you got back then. Some other honorable mentions, I guess, are Path of Exile. Path of Exile is also a very good ARPG, although that is also heavily centered around multiplayer. It's not really a single player type centralized ARPG as Titan Quest was, or as Diablo 2 was, or even Torchlight. Torchlight is also another very good ARPG, although Torchlight doesn't really come close to Diablo 2 or Titan Quest. So yeah, if I can resume my train of thought, the guys of I think it was Iron Lore. I think Iron Lore was the guys who created Titan Quest. So the guys of Titan Quest from Iron Lore joined the development team of this game. Now the developers of this game is Crate Entertainment. They launched a Kickstarter for this game actually. I think it was back in 2013, like early 2013, around there. And they asked for 250, I think it was around $250,000 in order to create this game. And they had a extremely cool promotional video, you could almost say, and they got their money. They actually in the end gathered something like $550,000. So they nearly doubled, or they actually, yeah, they did double their asking amount. So they asked for around 250,000. They got 550 or something like that thousand dollars in the end. So something happened along the line. I'm really not too sure what it was, but something happened along the line, because they stated on the Kickstarter campaign that the game will be finished and completed by end of 2013. So that obviously didn't happen, because we are now in the end of 2015, over 2 years later, and the game still isn't complete. So I'm really not too sure what it was, but some kind of a development snag or something happened along the line which delayed this game by over 2 years. So that is certainly very sad, because one then thinks, does this game even stand a chance to get developed to its entirety? Oh, for fuck's sake, my life. Will this game ever even reach the finished level? Will it ever even reach completion with all of these development snags? And certainly all of the people who have spent money on the game in the Kickstarter stage, I'm certain they feel a little bit, how can I say, let down, almost cheated, although I mean they shouldn't really feel cheated since the game is still being developed, but they were promised the completed game over 2 years ago, and that still hasn't happened. So I still actually have a few reservations about this game, because I mean, if a game takes 2 years longer to develop than what they said it would take to develop, then you are left with a few doubts in your mind. So those doubts are certainly there, but I'm still very hopeful for the game, and even like I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago, the developers released a update for this game, update to the early access client. So they added more content. So even as I speak, they are busy developing the game. So the game isn't dead, and the game will hopefully eventually be fully released. And like I said, according to my guesstimations, the game is about halfway, I would say a little bit more than halfway done, content wise, because they said that they want something like 5 acts, like almost similar to what Diablo had. The Diablo 2 had 5 acts also. So you could basically say that they are going for the same idea as what Diablo went for, with 5 acts, so 5 different, you could almost say, levels, 5 environments, you could almost say quest chains, like kind of like that. They are going for that basic idea. So currently there are 3. Actually just this morning I completed the 3rd main quest line, and I'm now busy doing all of the side quests. So it took me 48 hours, over 48 hours, in order to complete the 1st, 2nd and 3rd act. So that just gives you an idea of how big the game will eventually be once the 4th and 5th act is released. You could potentially get like 64 hours, possibly even more hours of game time just out of the main quest line. Then you haven't even touched the side quests. So really this game is quite massive, similar to how Titan Quest was. Titan Quest really was also a fucking massive game in the amount of content that there was to complete. And once you completed all of that content, you could then go into a kind of a new game plus mode, where you play through the entire campaign again, but instead of having level 1 monsters at the very beginning of your next playthrough, you actually had like level 40 monsters at the beginning of your next playthrough. So all of the monsters then were increased by about 40 levels, and the loot that you received also was increased by about 40 levels. And once again, also you get a new game plus in Titan Quest, where you basically could start the game a 3rd time over, and the same stuff basically happened then. The base level of the guys, of the monsters, was then basically improved by 70 levels. So you could essentially play the game through 3 times and still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And one thing that the developers of Titan Quest did amazingly, which really impressed me back then, and still to this day impresses me, because games to this day isn't even doing that, or they aren't even doing that, is that they didn't simply increase the level of the monsters in your new game plus mode, because I mean that would be the lazy way of giving your players, of giving your player base more entertainment, simply by increasing the levels of the monsters in new game plus mode. Sure, that would make people want to play the game through again, simply to increase their character level. But one thing that Titan Quest did amazingly is they actually not only increased the level of the monsters, they also added additional types of monsters, additional types of items, and they also added additional areas. So let's say you play through the desert in Act 1. Then you complete Act 1, and then on New Game Plus, if you go through the desert area, the desert stage once again, what Titan Quest actually did is they added additional areas. So areas which you couldn't access in your first playthrough, you could then access in your New Game Plus playthrough. I mean, that is fucking awesome. It basically gave you even more motivation to play through the game once again in New Game Plus, since you would get additional content that you didn't or weren't able to get in your first playthrough. And the thing that is sad is that ARPGs today that are being developed today aren't even doing that anymore. I mean, that's pretty shitty. I would really have thought that they would have taken a page out of the Titan Quest book and done that also, but unfortunately I haven't found a ARPG yet that have done that. And I've played Path of Exile, I've played Diablo 3, I've played just about every ARPG out there. So yeah, I really hope that the guys from Creative Entertainment that are doing this game will also be doing the same that they did in Titan Quest for this game also. So even though it might seem that they would just be the same old thing that they did in Titan Quest, in my opinion, Titan Quest was such a great game that even if someone created a carbon copy of that game and simply added a few different kind of a sideline quests and mainline quests and a few different items and maybe raised the level cap, that they would be able to take that game just as it is and sell it, and a shitload of people would buy it. So in my opinion, Titan Quest did so many things correctly that you really wouldn't fault anyone for copying them. And I certainly hope that Creative Entertainment with this game are going to copy what they did in Titan Quest. Because I mean, if your formula for a game is brilliant, then why change that formula? Just simply do what you did in the previous game, which was obviously a huge success, and then people will once again support you. They will once again buy your game because you did things correctly in the first game. So obviously in the second game they will once again support you because the game will be such a huge hit as what your first game was, and then you can increase or improve on the game. Maybe if the community had a few concerns, you can address those concerns in your second game, because you essentially then can create a better product, a nearly flawless product, by fixing all of the stuff that was broken in your first game. And to be honest, there wasn't really a whole bunch of stuff broken in the first game. There was a few stuff like the graphics engine, or I should say, almost say the physics engine in that game was slightly broken. Sometimes items would fall through the ground, like here, when you looted items or when the items fell on the ground, they would actually fall straight through the ground. And I have been screwed over by that in Titan Quest many times. Sometimes you are lucky and it's just a little old yellow item that falls through the ground, so it's not an extremely important item that falls through the ground, but Other times, like a fucking a purple item or a blue item or whatever, or even a set item would fall through the ground and you would not be able to get that item, and you would then basically just shit yourself. So it's basically the same as what, for instance, if a legendary item fell through the ground on Diablo 3, people would be shitting themselves. But fortunately that doesn't happen on Diablo 3, but it did happen on Titan Quest from time to time. So yeah, fortunately I haven't yet experienced that glitch on this game yet, and this game, I could almost say, uses exactly the same physics engine, exactly the same graphics engine as what Titan Quest did, because if you've played Titan Quest, you will immediately see that this game controls basically exactly the same as what Titan Quest did. When you deliver a large hit to an enemy, they fly backwards, and that was exactly the same kind of a physics that Titan Quest did. So fucking hell, my health dropped a lot there. So I am almost certain that this game is using exactly the same physics engine and graphics engine than what Titan Quest did. And like I said, that's absolutely fine. Okay, this guy's a boss. That's absolutely fine. If you have a amazing formula, then you don't need to change that amazing formula. Since it worked the second time, it will certainly work the second time. So let's check where we are now. I've already gone through this entire area. I did find a boss over there, which was a really strong bastard. And basically the purple bosses, like if their name at the top is purple, then it is a very important boss. It's like a nemesis boss almost. Either the boss is just an area boss, so it's like the biggest mob in the area, or it is actually it actually has some kind of a connection to a quest. That's basically the purple bosses. And then you get the like the one that we killed just now, with like a kind of a brown nameplate almost. Those are just mini bosses. Fucking hell, my health dropped a lot there. Those are just basically mini bosses. They just basically are a little bit of a challenge, and once you kill them you get a little bit of increased loot. Those are basically the types of bosses that you get in the game. The purple bosses obviously are much more powerful than the bosses with the brown nameplates. And I actually have only died once in this game. I absolutely shit myself when I died, because I really play this game and these types of games with a lot of pride, usually, I could almost say, in that I usually don't die in them. I complete total playthroughs from Act 1 until the very end without dying in these types of games. I also quite like creating hardcore characters, and I usually end up getting extremely far. If I don't complete the game, then I usually end up getting extremely far before dying. And then I have a little bit of a cry, I have a little bit of a sobbing session, and then I just create another hardcore character. So this one isn't a hardcore character, although I've only died once. It was an extremely powerful boss with poison. So unfortunately, or well, it's not really unfortunately, but it's kind of unfortunately, the potions in this game have a cooldown, as what many other potions in many other games also have a cooldown. Obviously, you can't just expect to be able to drink potions constantly, so they add a cooldown. So I fought the boss, and in the end I got overwhelmed by its poison. Obviously you've seen that poison is extremely powerful. Okay, so I have to go there. Where is the next place where I will be able to go? Somewhere here, somewhere there I should be able to reach, but I don't see a way through really. So anyway, I was killed by the poison of the boss, and I absolutely shit myself. I actually closed the game and just played a bit of Hearthstone after that in order to cool down, because I really take a lot of pride in not dying in these fucking games, but sometimes you get a boss that just absolutely poons you. Like in Diablo 2, there were lightning enhanced bosses, and holy shit, lightning enhanced bosses absolutely destroyed you sometimes. You would hit the boss once and then you would just die from all of the lightning enhanced damage that you would take. So even though there aren't bosses in this game that are that overpowered, the poison certainly is a huge pain sometimes. Okay, so I can't go through here. I thought maybe this place would have opened up by now. So basically poison is the variation of lightning enhanced in this game. If you see a boss that is poison based, you should be extremely cautious when fighting them. Detonation site. Okay, so I can go through there, it seems. I remember somewhere around these catacombs, around these caves, there was an area which I haven't explored yet, but I remember that I didn't have dynamite at that stage, and I just continued past it, and eventually I got to the place that gave you dynamite. So I now have a little bit of dynamite, and I can blow open all of the previous areas which I wasn't able to access. That's another thing that I really like about this game, and actually Titan Quest did it also. They lock areas, or they withhold areas with some or another kind of a mechanic. Maybe it is a gate that you need to open, but in order to get the key to the gate you first need to defeat the boss at the very end of the act, or something like that, for instance. I really quite like it when games do that. Some people might not like that, but I really like that. It's a way of making sure that you eventually come back to the area, and then maybe in the area they slip another mini boss in there. So it is a nice way of bringing you back to the area, re-experiencing some of the stuff in the area. You could almost say it is making you, or forcing you to appreciate the level design a little bit more, since you get to revisit the area twice. You get to basically play through the game twice, and it is always awesome if they just slip a little bit of a mini boss in there once again. So yeah, I've played quite a bit of the game now. You guys see the general idea of the character that I have created here. With that other boss, the other purple boss that I fought, you guys saw how I deal with very strong bosses. If I encounter a very strong boss, then I basically just run around in circles, and I allow my my minions, my pets, to destroy. Oh, okay, so this area cleared up now. And I allow my pets to kill the guy. I wonder where's my other big guy. Let's summon him. Oh, there it is. I basically just run around in circles and my pets kill off the boss. Now, my pets are actually more powerful than what I am. You saw there a 4,700 hit. Now, I don't hit for nearly as much. Like, there I hit for 500, there I hit for 1,000, there I hit for 1,620. So, I hit for basically half of what my pets do. So I basically deal half the amount of damage than what my pets deal. And that is very much due to the fact that I have a extremely pet-centered build. My pets are way more powerful than what I am, and that's fine, because I just basically run around in circles, and my pets deal more damage than what I do, so it's not even worth it for me to attack the bosses in most cases. Because, if I can show you my build quickly, I have, let's see, there I have 21% bonus damage to my pets. There I have 24 bonus damage to my pets. Let's see, 21 bonus damage and a shitload of attack damage and critical damage, 24% bonus damage. Basically, nearly all of my items give some kind of a enhancement to my pets. And I think if I combine all of it, there's the one screen here where you should be able to see all of the damage combined there. My pets gain 72% health, so they basically have twice as much health as what I have. They deal 3 times the amount of damage than what I do, since they gain 270% damage, and they attack 30% faster, and they have 30% enhanced defensive abilities. So that is really the kind of build that what I have. I just basically run around, try to stay alive through all of it, and my pets just basically tear the monsters a new asshole. They just blast the crap out of the monsters, and I should just try my best to stay alive. And it is actually quite difficult sometimes to stay alive, even though I have done everything in my power to increase. Okay, this is also a boss. I have done everything in my power to increase my health as much as possible. I tend to choose items which increase my base health, and I also have an aura. Where's that aura? This aura, which increases my health by 30%. Without this aura, I actually have much less health. Without this aura I have 3,400 health, but with this aura I have 4,500 health, so it increases my health by like 1,100, which is quite significant, since if I didn't have this aura, then I would have died quite a few times already. I mean, just a little while ago my health went down below 1,000 HP, and then I drank a potion. So you can clearly see that already, if I didn't have that aura, I would have already died, even in this playthrough. So that extra 1,100 health really helps a shitload. And apart from increasing my own health, it also increases my pets' health, so that is just a little bit of a bonus, although my pets really don't die very often, and if they die then I simply resummon them. So my health of my pets are basically unending, since as soon as they die I can just boom 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 resummon them, and they are full HP and full mana once again. So yeah, I don't really care about my health of my pets. I just basically, okay, this guy is a boss. I just basically care about the health of myself, since if I die, all of my pets die. So this guy is giving a kind of a freezing aura. He is slowing my attack speed, he's slowing the attack speed of all of my pets, but fortunately I'm able to deal with him. You can see at the top left they are actually taking a shitload of damage, since some of my pets are very close to dying. So that guy actually dealt a crap load of damage to my pets, since my pets really have a shitload of health. My one pet I know has like 15,000 HP. This guy, oh, it's even higher, 25,000 HP. So that's that pet over there. It's basically this Groot looking guy. You could almost call him Groot. He has 25,000 HP, and I think that is even without this aura, which increases his HP by 30%. So he actually in reality has like 35,000 HP, and he was nearly killed by that boss. And I mean 35,000 HP in relation to my 4,500 HP is fuck all. He basically has close to 8 times the amount of HP that I have. So that just gives you an idea of how reliant I am on my pets. And if I didn't have my pets, then statistically I would have taken 35,000 damage by fighting that boss. Since let's say I was a necromancer, or I was any kind of another build which didn't have the luxury of having pets tank all of the damage, then I would have died, since I would have taken all of the damage that my pets would normally have taken, which of course was 35,000. So I essentially would have took 35,000 damage if I didn't have all of these pets tanking on my behalf. So yeah, I really am impressed with my build that I have here, since in my opinion it's quite powerful, more powerful than any other builds. I did previously try a mage kind of a lightning based build where I used that Doom Bolt over there, but when I cast Doom Bolt it dealt 2000 damage. So I right click and it deals 2000 damage in a little area, just like a little area like that. It's not really a huge AoE. And then it was on a 10-second cooldown, so only every 10 seconds I could deal 2000 damage. And I mean that by far pales in comparison to this build, because I mean my big motherfucker Groot over there deals 4000 damage with a single hit. So and hits like once every second, so that just gives you an idea of how much more powerful the pet build, this build that I currently have, is than in relation to other builds. This pet build is really quite fucking powerful, since I don't really see how I would have been able to deal with most other builds. Most other builds I think would die much more often than this build that I currently have. This is another cool thing that I like about the game. You actually get destructible walls like this. So if you don't notice that the wall is in fact destructible, then you would have just walked past this entire area that I am in currently. So this entire area that I'm in currently essentially is a secret area. And I picked up a strange key. Or can't I pick it up? Well, it doesn't want to get picked up, it seems. Do I already have strange keys, or what's going on? No, it doesn't seem... Oh, okay, yes, I already have a strange key, so that's why it doesn't want to pick up that strange key. So, where was I? So yeah, the game has nice little features like that, where you can get destructible areas, destructible walls and all of that. So this area where I am in currently is a quite low level area. In most of the areas, the monsters actually adjust to your current level. So in most of the areas, the game adjusts to... Oh, this is actually a quest. I remember this quest. It's the lair of cultists. So we are doing a quest right now, fortunately. So in most of the areas, the monsters will automatically adjust to your current level. So they will usually adjust to level 53. But I've seen that doesn't happen in all areas. It happens in most of the areas, but it doesn't happen in 100% of the areas. So, for instance, in this area, they are only adjusting to a maximum level of 40. They are not adjusting to my level 53. So, I don't know why they only adjust in certain areas, but I don't know. That's probably just the way the game is set up. So another little thing is that I am actually playing on veteran mode right now. It's basically what the veteran mode does. You get normal mode, and then you get the choice of adding veteran mode on top of normal mode. That basically increases the levels of all of the monsters that you encounter by 4 to 5 to 6 levels. Around 4, 5 or 6 levels, each and every monster will be a higher level than you. So you've already noticed that, obviously not in this area, but in other areas, the monsters tend to be 4 or 5 or 6 levels higher than what I am. So normally, if I didn't have veteran mode enabled, the monsters will adjust to the exact same level as what I am, but because I have veteran mode enabled, the monsters are actually a higher level than what I am, and that in turn makes higher level and higher quality items drop for me. So even though you stand a greater chance of dying, as we've seen, I've gotten quite close to dying a few times already, the benefits of playing on veteran mode is that in fact you get more loot and better loot and higher level loot by using the veteran mode, by playing on veteran mode. Even though it is a bigger risk, you stand a bit of a bigger chance of dying. So this fucking level 41 guy actually got pretty close to killing me there. He did quite a bit of damage. I'm quite impressed by his level 41 skills. I'm sure if he was on my level, he would have nearly killed me. Like there also, holy shit. These level 41 monsters are hitting me down to 50% HP already. So yeah, the general idea that I had for this Play or Neigh is basically just playing about the hour of the game, showing you guys how the game controls, basically explaining to you guys what I think about the game, and the future plans that I hope this game will conform to. Currently I don't think there is an official release date for this game. The official release date for this game was August 2013, according to the Kickstarter for this game. But obviously that didn't happen, unfortunately. Like I said, something happened along the line which severely hindered the development of this game, and unfortunately now the game has already been delayed by 2 years, but I am confident that the game will be released eventually, since as we speak the developers are busy developing the game. They release updated content every now and then, like every 2 weeks or so. They released updated content actually to the early access client. So even if you go ahead and you purchase the game right now, you will be able to play it in early access, and any of the content, any of the new content and the new updates that the developers come up with, that they develop, will be added to your early access game. So even though it is considered usually that early access game is only a small portion of the game, this early access version of the game is actually the complete game, you could say, since as soon as the developers work on new content, as soon as they complete new content, they immediately add it to the game. So you are constantly updated with the newest game, the newest version of the game, which is really quite cool. Another cool thing is that the mobs actually attack each other. Like there you just saw a human attacking or being attacked by a few zombie dogs almost, and you can then come in and you can swoop down upon the mobs and you can kill the zombie dogs and the humans. So that's pretty cool. Oftentimes you see harpies attacking naga, or earth elementals attacking harpies, just like a bunch of warring factions going against each other. That's pretty cool. I quite like the idea that there are warring factions going against each other, and then you can swoop in there and destroy all of them. So the map is quite fucking huge. It's like, if I can explain to you guys, if you look at this map, from this one portal we go up, and okay, well, there is a portal there, but we're going to ignore that portal. The very next portal is, I think, there, like in that area. So from that area all the way down to my location here is the one portal. And if we look at the local map, that's basically from, where's my location right now? Let's just check. From this location all the way up to that location there. So from this portal to that portal is from here all the way up to there. So it's quite a fucking huge distance in comparison from this portal to that portal. It would take me easily 10 minutes to walk from here to there. So that gives you a general idea of how big the game is. So you could say that it would take 10 minutes from there to there, from there to there 20 minutes, from there to there 30 minutes, and then from there to there about 35 minutes. So it would take 35 minutes to walk all the way from the top of that map to there, and then in addition to that there is another direction to here, from all the way from there to there. And I can already say tell you that from walking all the way from there to the very top point there would easily take an hour and a half. That's how fucking huge this map is from there to there. And that's if you ignore all of the content along the way. There's like branching stuff like a Dead Man's Clutch, where there's a bunch of manticores and rotting corpse lands where there's a bunch of zombies. So you could just walk all the way up to there, but you would be missing out on the zombie crop fields and the manticores that are in this area and all of the little side areas. So the game already is really quite fucking large, and like I've said, I've already played 2 days, I think 2 days and 6 hours by now of this game, and I haven't completed it yet. Well, I've completed the main storyline yet, the main quest line, but look at all of these side objectives that I still have to do. I have a shitload of side objectives that I still have to do. So yeah, the game is really quite fucking massive. I'm really impressed by the size of the game. It is certainly the biggest early access game that I've played yet. I mean, there are a shitload of early access games on Steam, but none of them are even close to getting you to the point of being able to play 48 hours of constant gameplay simply on the main storyline, on the main quest line. And then you also get a few side quests just by wandering around like I've done now. And then you get this guy and you can send the guys back to your main, to the main area. So that guy I've just teleported back to the main area. The main area is back there, Devil's Crossing. It's basically the beginning area. And once I go back to that location, he will probably have maybe a gift for me, or he will maybe have another quest for me or anything like that. So that's basically how you discover side quests and stuff. So you could just rush through the game and just do the main quest line, or you could get a shitload of more obviously experience and items and quests by just wandering around as I am doing now, and just finding prisoners here and there and interesting guys. So I've played now for about an hour, and at the beginning of my video I was a little bit ahead of level 53. So in about an hour I've gained almost half a level. The level goes to there. So you could say that at my current stage it is taking me 2 hours per level. So that just gives you an idea of how long it would take you to reach the maximum level. At this stage I think the maximum level is level 70. They might increase it eventually, but the highest level item that I have seen so far is level 70. So I am only assuming that the maximum level is level 70. But like I said at the very beginning, they might increase the maximum level to level 100 or level 90 or whatever they think would be a good amount. Because obviously if you are going to complete the entire game, you might reach level 50, but then the developers might think that it is a good idea to add New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus and potentially even New Game Plus times 3. So you could play through the game 3 or 4 times. And you will constantly gain XP. Obviously it sucks if you play through the game and you don't gain XP. Many games do that, like Diablo did that for a long while until they finally introduced the Paragon levels. But still, the Paragon levels, you don't gain real levels. Like the maximum level in Diablo 3 is obviously level 70, so sure, you can play until level 70 and that's all fine and well. You can then pick up a shitload of level 70 items, but the game essentially stops at level 70. and that sucks. It would have been much more awesome if they would have increased the maximum level of the game to maybe level 110 or 120 or whatever, and that would just give you much more satisfaction to be able to work through the talent tree like here. Like even now, if I gain a level, I will be able to spend those skill points, because you get 3 skill points every level that you gain. So if I hit level 54, I will gain 3 skill points here, which I can then distribute where I want to. So I can already tell you that you would have to be able to get reach about like level 200 in order to be able to fill out this entire talent tree, since you gain 3 levels each and every level. And that is not even considering this talent tree also, since with this talent tree you would have to gain another maybe 100 levels or 150 levels before you will be able to fill in all of these talents also. So that just gives you an idea. If the developers of this game want to allow you to have the maximum talent tree and the maximum skills, then they would have to make the level cap of this game easily 300. So you would have to gain level 300, and I mean, if you take that according to the amount of gameplay that I have already played, it is a fucking crazy amount of gameplay. I mean, if it takes me 2 hours for a single level, imagine how long 300 levels are going to take me. That's gonna take 600 hours. And I mean, what fucking game can give you 600 hours of gameplay? I remember playing Final Fantasy, as far as I remember it was Final Fantasy 9. I'm saying this under correction, but I think it was Final Fantasy 9. And on Final Fantasy 9 I had 999 hours of gameplay, of game time. And that game was fucking awesome. It was one of those games that can give you 1,000 hours of gameplay and you just want more. You're yearning for more. You just wish that the developers would add another expansion or would add more content to the game. Now this game has the potential of being like that. It has the potential of giving you essentially 1,000 hours of gameplay and leaving you just wanting more, leaving you just wanting them to release another DLC or another expansion or anything like that. To be honest, currently for me, Witcher 3 is like that. I am enjoying the shit out of Witcher 3. I haven't completed the game yet and I've already spent easily 200 hours playing that game, easily. So, and actually they are releasing the Heart of Stone expansion very soon. I'm a little bit sad that it actually costs $10 in order to get that expansion, but I mean, they have to make their money somehow, so I guess they just can't release everything for free. But I'm really quite excited about I think it was the Heart of Stone expansion. So I am really quite how can I say, enthusiastic about what this game has to offer in the future. So yeah, I am really quite happy that this game is doing as well as what it is. I really hope that the developers continue doing development on it, although if I was a cynical person, I would probably say that this game stands little chance to be released since it's already been delayed 2 years, but fortunately I'm not a cynical person. I really think that this game will be released relatively soon, in 2016 certainly, since they only have 2 more acts to add to the game. And once this game is fully released, I am pretty certain that this game will take the top spot of the best game ever created, in my opinion, since already it is, I would almost say, on par with Titan Quest. I'm really enjoying this game as much as what I enjoyed Titan Quest when I was younger. So yeah, I am really quite excited for the release of this game, and then hopefully they will do a few of the things like I've already explained. Hopefully they will add the same kind of a level design as what they did in Titan Quest. I haven't yet seen that kind of a level design in this playthrough yet. But then again, I haven't reached the end of the game yet, so I haven't been able to select a New Game Plus mode yet. So I just hope that they do the same thing with Titan Quest as what, or they do the same thing with Grim Dawn as what they did with Titan Quest, where they basically, after you've played through the entire game, you then get to select New Game Plus, and then in that New Game Plus they don't simply increase the levels of the monsters, they actually add additional content in your second New Game Plus, which you didn't or that you weren't able to get in your first playthrough. So it might be a massive locked gate or something like that, and once you click on the gate it says, for instance, I am not yet powerful enough to open this, or something like that. And then the conditions to opening that gate is that you have to be on New Game Plus difficulty, and you have to be level 60 or level 70 or whatever. That is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I love the fact that Titan Quest did that. It really gave you some, how can I say, motivation to just look forward to playing the game even more. And they did that kind of thing in New Game Plus and New Game Plus on Titan Quest. Obviously on Titan Quest you could play through the game 3 times before you actually reached the final, how can I say, the final content and the final version of the game. So yeah, I just hope that they do the same thing with Titan Quest, or with this game, as what they did with Titan Quest. So it's about time that I talk about the graphics. The graphics, in my opinion, is a little bit lower currently than what Titan Quest's graphics was. Titan Quest's graphics was a little bit more pretty than what this game's graphics is currently. But that is, of course, almost to be expected, since this game isn't fully released yet, and they probably haven't released the final version of the game engine that they are going for. So you can expect the graphics of this current version to be inferior to the final version of the game's graphics. There are some frame drops currently. Just a little while ago my frame rate dropped down to 19 frames per second, which really shouldn't happen in a game of this quality. I mean, I play Witcher 3 on full graphics at like 50 frames per second. I play Mad Max, I play Metal Gear Solid, all of those amazing graphics games at 60 frames per second on full graphics. So the fact that a game like this, which has arguably far inferior graphics to those games, dropping to 19 frames per second, that really shouldn't happen. So there are certainly currently some, how can I say, optimization issues that they still need to address, but it is of course a early access game and that will certainly be addressed. If it's not addressed, then there will be some definite outcry from the community, but I'm very confident that they will fix all of those frame rate issues and performance issues before they release the game fully. Obviously that is what the development process involves, in addition to creating additional content. They just don't create additional content, they also do streamlining and compatibility issues and all of that stuff. So I'm certain that they will address those little frame rate issues before the final release of the game. So yeah, that is basically all I have to say about the game currently. In its current version, if you buy the game right now, you can get over 25 hours of gameplay. I've already gotten 48 hours of gameplay out of the game in its current state, and it's not even completed yet, so all of the content isn't even released yet. Let's give a few quests in. I haven't been in the town in quite a while, even though one thing that is worth mentioning is that the voice acting is non-existent for NPCs currently. Only when you click on an NPC they actually talk to you, but if you accept a quest or anything like that, there is no voice acting. So there's currently 0 voice acting for the NPCs, and I just hope that they add voice acting eventually. I really like good voice acting in a game. So like if I talk to this guy, all of this isn't voiced. I would have liked it to actually be voiced, and the portraits of the guys also, that should probably be transparent. So I hope that eventually they take away all of the blue background, which can very easily be done. I mean, I do that in my own videos. I add transparent effects to my own videos, so that can very easily be done. So I really hope that they do that eventually, and also the voice acting. Hopefully they do that eventually. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can currently say about the game. I hope they add more content. I hope they increase the level cap to 300, although I am almost certain they will not do that. They probably don't want you to be able to get all of the skills in a particular skill tree. They probably want you to specialize in a certain direction, and that's it. So they don't want you to be a guy who can summon a shitload of pets and cast lightning everywhere and plagues everywhere and all of that. They want you to specialize in a certain skill tree. So they will probably be only making the skill cap or the level cap level 70, maybe level 80, maybe level 90. I really don't see them making it any higher than that, although I really hope that they do increase it to about 300 or 400 levels. That would just be fucking awesome. To run around with pets like these and cast plagues and lightning and shit everywhere, that will be fucking awesome. So, in addition to that, the item design is quite similar to Titan Quest's. When you equip an item, it changes on your actual model. You can rotate your model. If you equip something that is fiery, that has like a fiery kind of a effect, then it is actually also displayed on your character, which is quite cool. I really liked the item design on Titan Quest, and the item design in this game is also just about the same. So if you equip this, you can see that it is actually burning, and it is also burning in game. So you can zoom in and you can see nice little heat effects coming off of the item. So the graphics and the item design is actually quite nice, although I haven't seen items currently that come close to what was available in Titan Quest. There were some amazing item design in Titan Quest, really the best item design that I've ever seen in a ARPG, even better than Diablo 3. And that is saying something, since Diablo 3 is a much more up-to-date game than Titan Quest. I mean, like I said, Titan Quest is close to 10 years old, and still to this day Titan Quest has better item design than games like Diablo. So that is definitely saying something. And yeah, that's basically the reason why Titan Quest is, in my opinion, the best game ever. And I would definitely put Witcher 3 at the top 5, and I would put Diablo 2 in probably in the number 2 position. Although Diablo 3 I wouldn't even put in my top 10 best games ever, since I really think that Diablo 3 slipped up on a bunch of other aspects. That's why I say that I really wouldn't mind the developers of this game doing an almost exact carbon copy of Titan Quest, since the fact that Diablo 2 is a better game than Diablo 3 is just going towards proving my point of if you have a working formula for a game, if you have a 10 out of 10 formula for a game, then why would you want to change it? And that's exactly what Blizzard did. They changed their Diablo 2 formula too much, and they created Diablo 3. And Diablo 3 isn't as a good game as what Diablo 3 is. So that just goes towards proving my point that the developers of this game should just follow in the footsteps of Titan Quest. They should create a bigger game than Titan Quest, and they should just address some of the issues that Titan Quest had. And so far as what I can see, they are doing exactly that with this game. And that is why I'm quite excited for this game. So I am going to play about, let's call it 5 more minutes of the game. And I'm going to stay quiet during these 5 minutes of the game, just so that you can hear the sound effects and all of that, because you guys haven't gotten a chance to hear the sound effects and all of that yet, because I've been talking for the past hour and 20 minutes. So I'm gonna stay quiet for 5 minutes, allow you guys to hear all of the sound effects, and after that I am going to draw the conclusion of this video. Okay, so that should give you guys a good idea of the sound effects and all of that. One thing that I don't like, but obviously that might be changed eventually, is that the voices of the humans, sometimes you fight humans, those voices are extremely soft. They often scream stuff at you, like come get me, or I'm gonna kill you, or whatever, stuff like that. But it's extremely difficult to even hear it due to the fact that you cannot increase the dialogue volume. The dialogue volume is actually just the voices of the NPCs. It doesn't include the dialogue volume of the monsters that you fight. So unfortunately, even with these settings and the dialogue volume at full, you still often cannot hear the voices that the monsters scream at you or stuff like that. Because some of the purple bosses, or some of the big bosses, they taunt you and they scream insults at you during your fight, but you can't hear it over the sound of the hitting and the growling that your pets do and all of that shit. So I would just like that to be changed in order for this dialogue volume button to actually not only affect the NPC's volume, but also the mob's volume of the in-game threats and stuff that they scream at you. Oh, and I almost forgot that there is actually one awesome thing about this game also, and that is the crafting system. There's actually a quite cool crafting system. You can see some of these items are level 70. That is why I am inclined to think that the maximum level is actually level 70, because I haven't seen a higher level than this yet. So you can actually craft items, and the items that you combine in here, I will show you in just a little while. They are actually in my stash. You can actually combine items. You can combine these kind of things like this thing. You can combine swords and stuff, blunt axes, implements, swords, two-handed melees, ranged weapons, pistols, muskets, shields, belts, armor, stuff like that. And you can also get accessories like earrings and all of that. So there's really a quite in-depth crafting system, and the crafting stuff is picked up by using all of these stuff and then combining them together. So that's all of the stuff that I've been picking up already. There's a nice little complete components thing here, which allows you to combine all of your different stuff into one, so that you don't have to go and combine each of them individually. That's also a quite nice feature. So yeah, there's also a quite cool crafting system in the game, which I also quite like. I don't think Titan Quest had a crafting system as far as I can remember, so this is already one quite cool kind of an additive to the game, which Titan Quest didn't have. So yeah, that's basically it for the game. So you guys, obviously, I don't even need to tell you my opinion about it. You guys can obviously already, through me playing the game for an hour and a half, see that I really like this game. So I would absolutely recommend that you guys get this game, and yeah, I definitely recommend that you play this game. It is certainly the best early access game currently available on Steam, and I really hope that it is fully released and fully completed pretty soon, since I will definitely do another video on this game once it is completely released. But so far, my early access opinion of this game is that if you like this kind of ARPG, hack and slash, Diablo type games, then you should absolutely get this game. If it looks like fun to you, then just times that fun by 2, and that is the amount of fun that you will have with this game. It's really a shitload of fun. So yeah guys, that's basically it. Not much else I can say about the game. Like I said, there is a normal and veteran mode, but you first need to complete the game once through completely, then you get the elite mode, and then once through again, then you get the ultimate mode. So it's like the new game plus and new game plus plus mode. Although veteran isn't necessary, that's only to increase the difficulty of the game even more, although you do get rewarded by getting more items, higher level items and all of that. So this is only if you really want a little bit of a bigger challenge in the game. So that's not really necessary to add that. Only do that if you're really powerful. So yeah guys, that's basically it. As for the settings here, once you hover over them, they don't actually give you a description of what they do, like lock item pickup. If I hover over it, nothing happens. There's no description of the options. So I would have just liked them to maybe add a little bit of a description. And like classic targeting, I have no idea what classic targeting does, so a little bit of a description there would be really awesome. The audio, the only problem I have with the audio is, like I said already, I would like this to actually also affect the in-game monsters, not only the NPCs. And the video settings are quite good, quite extensive. You can add vertical sync, triple buffering, post-processing, soft particles, all of that shit, but if I add that, my PC like goes down to 10 frames, 15 frames constantly. So obviously there are a few kind of optimization issues currently, but it's just currently. Obviously those will be cleared out eventually when the game is released. So yeah guys, the game is available on Steam. It is by Crate Entertainment, and yeah, I hope you guys get the game. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Ah, Hero, we were just talking about you.
This burden falls to you. Join me. We don't have much time.
Thank you. It's the least you can do to support this. The Alliance needs heroes like you more than ever.
I thank you.